Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day to watch three intriguing fourth round FA Cup ties. Ties that spelled danger for the mighty, including Canon League leaders Manchester United, who visited Sunderland at Roker Park and dramatically brought back their captain Brian Robson after 3 months' absence and just one reserve game. So Robson and co faced that cauldron of Geordie enthusiasm and the team that wily Laurie McMenemy is presently reshaping in his own special fashion. Danger too for Tottenham, in the middle of one of the most worrying playing periods in their history, and it's certain their glamorous array of stars, including Glenn Hoddle, also back from injury, would hardly have relished the draw that took them to face third division Notts County, who, with Jimmy Cyril back at the helm, have been unbeatable in recent weeks. All things being equal, you'd expect the first division clubs to survive there, but only the brave or the foolish would predict the winners of our third perfectly balanced tie between recently promoted Manchester City and Watford, who've reached the fifth round of the FA Cup for 4 seasons running.
And Nixon didn't hold that, and Clements was on hand.
Well, exciting action coming up from that game, but let's waste no more time and join 36,000 people at Roker Park for our first cup tie between Sunderland and Manchester United. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
For the most passionate and arguably the most long-suffering supporters in the land, today is a day when there is hope of jam for tea. And this is the team they look to provide it. Laurie McMenemy makes just one change from the side beaten here by Millwall in the league last Saturday. That's Dave Swindlehurst coming in place of the injured Eric Gates. 6 of the side have played in a Wembley final. As for United, they come here with their FA Cup winning team, with one exception, the absence of Mark Hughes, who is suspended. There is, though, a late change in the 11th man, who is Clayton Blackmore, instead of Colin Gibson, who turned an ankle in training and who has been ill overnight. And the inclusion of Brian Robson, a gamble or good sense to play your best player, speaks volumes about United's approach to the task. The referee is Colin Seal, who comes from Carlisle. There were people queuing at Roker Park as early as 9 o'clock this morning, and the cash gates were closed half an hour ago. United in blue strip attacking the goal to our left, and they win the first free kick for that challenge on Kevin Moore. Robson, who scored in the league fixture here between these two sides just 14 months ago, when Sunderland came back from 2 down. Swindlehurst. Kennedy is going to give an early touch to Bob Boulder, who, like his opposite number Gary Bailey, is wearing tracksuit bottoms. The pitch certainly playable, but hard. Swindlehurst. This is Pickering. Atkinson inside, corner. Really didn't set himself, I don't think, but a corner one even so. This up on the near post, away by Brian Robson. Benison, not a bad try. Just didn't come down early enough for him. Being the manager, unmoved in the stand with the red scarf. Wallace, Maguire across. Laurie McMenemy looking into the sun. It's a major problem for watchers from that side. Chance for a better cross. Came off Robson and well away by Moran from the feet of Swindlehurst. Proctor finds Atkinson. Referee calling that evens. Wallace, Benison, Moran across, a bit of a push and shove. Kennedy, well, the whistle has gone. But Gary Bailey, the first goalkeeper into any action. And the ball really ricocheted off him at great pace. The two early shots of the game have both come from this fellow, former Sunderland captain. Play by Stapleton. Blackmore. Thought he was obstructed. A lot of first-time passes. It's nicely done by Jesper Olsen. Not so much by Clayton Blackmore. Atkinson gets himself in front of his fullback very neatly indeed. Strachan showed it and took it away. Whiteside, man outside him with Stapleton, two in the middle. Wilson going across to take the corner. Same combination for United. Whiteside and Stapleton in the near post area. McGrath in front of the goalkeeper, Strachan further over in the 6-yard box. Play by Blackmore. Pickering's header. Dive in by Kennedy. Oh, well left and well blocked. McGrath, Brian Robson. Field for handball. And Robson incensed. The only person who could possibly have seen among the officials was the linesman on this side. The referee didn't have an earthly being able to see that. But Robson had no doubt at all that Benison handled the ball. Blackmore, half off Pickering, surely an offside flag. Well, it's given for the push, but Bob Boulder then found himself faced by two players from the opposition. The linesman was level, so presumably they weren't offside. Clearance, away by Moran. Atkinson. Burley. Swindlehurst. Good cross by George Burley. And so the first half ends with the score Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0. Well, there can be no question, I think, that the hardness of the pitch and the slightly slippery top surface contributed greatly to the rather harum-scarum first half. In the league match between these two last season here, all 5 goals came in the first half. This time we start the second half with a clean sheet. Here's George Burley. Wallace. Poked away by Whiteside. Wallace. Swindlehurst had moved on. It might have been a bit more testing. Offside against Stapleton. Swindlehurst, Atkinson! McGrath with a donkey flip away and Pickering over the top. Bailey had come for it. Atkinson got it past him. McGrath running towards his own goal, flicked the ball away in donkey style. And Pickering flashed at it, and as a result the ball went high into the crowd. First real escape. Well reached by Gbula. Sunderland poised to make their substitution. And 9 is the player to come off. Ian Wallace. And he's replaced by Howard Gale. Stapleton. Robson goes on, leaves it. Olsen! Well, he had a clear view of the goal. Maybe he was a little surprised to receive the ball, because I'd be surprised if that was a deliberate dummy by Robson. It left Olsen in the clear. He poked the shot wide. McGrath. Strachan. Stapleton allowed the time to cross it. Strachan, it got deflected, good save. He did really well then, Bob Boulder. The ball was deflected by David Corner and he had to adjust and just tip it away with his fingertips. Kidman. Well collected by Blackmore. He just couldn't get his shot away. Robson. Tethered in Benison again, a bit of trouble between Benison and Robson. And the referee has gone to talk to the linesman. Don't think the England captain liked the challenge. And to be truthful, it seemed to me that Benison was a little bit quicker than Brian Robson on that occasion. And there was certainly a reaction involving the two players, and I think the England captain may well be booked here. Irritation which is to be punished. He's going off! Sensation! The England captain is sent off. I can only think that he talked too much when Colin Seal was explaining to him that he was going to book him. Quite unbelievable. Brian Robson, who's been so determined but a little het up to tell the truth all the afternoon, in the end is dismissed. 11 minutes to go. And of all the possible outcomes of his return to the game, who would have thought of that? Unbelievable. And so United down to 10 men with 11 minutes to go. Look at Ron Atkinson. A mixture of being bemused and thoroughly sickened and extremely irritated. It's a United ball. Strachan. Buller. Chase for Pickering. Couldn't take the bouncing ball.
This is a police message to the Man Utd supporters. You will be directing all police officers to the party to return to the railway station.
On by Proctor. Atkinson, what a good challenge by Moran. But here's Swindlehurst. They're queuing up in the middle. Gale completely missed this kick. Well, Sunderland, it has to be said, have had their chances and they've muffed them. They have to go for a replay. Two managers shake hands. And one has to admire the way United collectively got themselves out of a problem when they had their skipper sent off with 11 minutes remaining. Up until that moment, the pitch was winning the match. But Sunderland had chances in the end, particularly the one that fell at the death to Howard Gale when he completely missed his kick. So a replay it is, but Colin Seal will be one of those to have made the headlines here, and the other man, the principal in the whole piece, the England captain, Brian Robson.
Well, not a lot to say about the result there. Sunderland tried hard and deserved the replay. So did their fans. But the game revealed the length of the road Laurie McMenemy and his lads have to travel to catch up with the Uniteds of this world. Not a pleasant task now for me, but it has to be said. It was noticeable during the game that Brian Robson was, on more than one occasion, guilty of showing dissent to the officials. As England's captain, and at a time when football is desperately trying to restore its image, I do think Brian has an unmitigated responsibility to set the best possible example on and off the field. At the ground and at home on television, those watching do not like dissent to the officials. It's ugly and it's unnecessary. And to follow that constant niggling this afternoon by kicking an opponent, and that's what he was sent off for, is inexcusable. It demands an instant apology and a public undertaking to be the decent professional we all know him to be underneath today's uncharacteristic cloak. Well, now it's the turn of Manchester City and Watford to show us what they can do. The heated Main Road pitch was in perfect condition, and equally fresh, your commentator John Motson.
Watford's Wilf Rostron has a specific desire to get to Wembley. He missed their 1984 final through suspension, and today he comes up against a man he met in the semi-final that year, David Phillips, then with Plymouth Argyle, now of Manchester City. City's top scorer, Mark Lillis, passed a late test on a back injury, so they're unchanged. They've won 5 and drawn 1 of their last 6 games, largely because their defence has tightened up considerably. Watford's Nigel Callaghan passed his fitness check on a thigh strain, but even with him, they field just 4 of the team that played Everton at Wembley only 20 months ago. The referee this afternoon is Malcolm Heath of Stoke. Brian Caldry from Dudley and Graham Roderick of Birmingham are his 2 linesmen. Well, the undersoil heating system here at Main Road, and indeed the playing surface, surely one of the best in the country. The temperature in Manchester early this morning was -4, but even then, this surface was playable. And Watford, who appreciate the size of the pitch here at Main Road, it should give them a chance to spread their play. They're operating from right to left in the first half. That was Talbot. Now it's Power. Barnes. Callaghan further down the right. That was Clement's back header. Terry. Simpson, nice turn against Gibbs. And Simpson whips a good ball in, and Davis. Well, the two players figuring there were prominent in City's victory in the third round. Davis, who got their first goal at Walsall, and Simpson, who got the other two. And indeed, the service from Simpson on the left, he's only 19, has been a feature of City's play this season. Forward by McCarthy. Then McClelland. Then May. Now Lillis. Davis. May looking for Simpson. And Gibbs couldn't get to him. And Phillips! Simpson proving dangerous now on the other flank. He took on Nigel Gibbs and whipped the ball across. And David Phillips was stretching a bit in trying to turn it in from there. Lillis, Davis. Now May. Wide for Simpson. Oh, he did awfully well there. Into Lillis. Return not so good. But Phillips keeps the momentum going. He's found McNabb, and there are four waiting in the centre here. If Power can get it in, it comes off Gibbs. And Barnes turns McCarthy and gets away. West is also up, and so is Sterling. 3-on-2 for a moment, and Barnes has gone alone, and Nixon makes a good save at his feet. There's an example of John Barnes going at the defence, taking players on the way he's been encouraged to do at Watford, and forcing goalkeeper Eric Nixon to come out and make the save. Well, there was plenty of energy expended in the first half and no little promise from both teams, but as yet no fulfilment. So at half-time, the score between these two First Division clubs is 0-0. Lots of youngsters in the crowd this afternoon, and it's worth pointing out that Manchester City began their Junior Blues organisation some 14 years ago, and that family spirit is something that Watford have obviously encouraged too at their own ground. So two clubs here who've really thought about the future of football in terms of those who come to watch. As yet this afternoon they haven't seen a goal, but certainly nothing wrong with the approach of either side. Push players forward at every opportunity, which is what Watford are doing here for this free kick. Here's Jacket. Forward by Reed. On by McCarthy. McNabb's got Simpson outside him. And McNabb, a lovely turn away from Talbot. The shot struck Steve Terry. West to Barnes, and Watford can open things out here. Callahan has started this second half over on the left. He's got plenty of players up with him in support here. Sterling. And now West. And in early, Barnes! No, he didn't make it. Phillips did. Rostron for Watford. Callahan. And Barnes is in there again with the goalkeeper. Looking dangerous here, John Barnes, early in the second half. Hopes to get this match settled because he wants to go to Egypt with England. Lillis. offside flag is up against Simpson. When the teams met in the league at Vicarage Road earlier this season, it was 3-2 to Watford. So nobody here was actually expecting a goalless draw. Sterling's header into West. Callahan's coming in from the far side. Got the best of clearances from Reid. West. And Nixon didn't hold that, and Clements was on hand. West tried his luck. Nixon couldn't collect. And Clements deprived Barnes, who was following in. And again, McCarthy checks McClelland. Barnes back to Callahan. And McCarthy once more. And finally, Phillips gets his foot underneath it. And everybody was sandwiched there in the City half, and they may still be. Now McNabb with a chance to release Lillis. May. McNabb. That was power on Callahan. Still very close together, Colin West and Mick McCarthy. Andy May. Simpson. Oh, he's certainly prepared to go at them, is Paul Simpson. It's a good run and a good effort too. John McClelland got his head to it. But again, a nice turn of skill from Paul Simpson. McNabb. Callahan, that's a good-looking ball. Wilf Rostron scampering down the left, but it's opened things up for Watford, that crossfield pass, and they've got 5 in attack immediately. Sterling here. The angle a bit tight against Phillips. Foul by Barnes on Phillips. Swift counter-attack, though, by Watford, which Phillips eventually put a stop to. Well played by Barnes. This is West. Sterling is outside him. Gibbs intercepting. Barnes. Well, it's certainly a crisp, competitive cup tie. It needs a goal, actually, as far as the neutral is concerned, but Phillips is trying to release Lillis, and City have a chance. And Davis! The goal it needed has arrived, and Gordon Davis scores, laid on by Lillis, and City are in front. It was a quick, smart move by City, and when Lillis got the ball in, Davis was brave and showed his instinct in front of goal to dive and head that home. So Manchester City are in front, but immediately Watford with Callahan. Watford, the kind of team who will come back at you straight away, and Barnes is in there. Lillis to Simpson. Now Main Road has come to life. Simpson taking on the Watford defence again. Well, that will be surely one of the smartest goals you'll see on this FA Cup weekend. Lillis sensing that Davis was making the run across the box, getting the right sort of quality cross in, but that's a goal scorer's goal. Sheer instinct and decisive finishing. Free kick to Watford. McNabb and Jacket. So an hour gone. Gibbs looking for Barnes. Corner. Barnes and McClelland, again the players facing the kicker. McCarthy's up behind McClelland, penalty. He's been holding him a little bit on previous corner kicks, and this time the referee took action. McCarthy on McClelland, coming in behind him. The referee said a foul, penalty to Watford. McCarthy is furious, but I've got a feeling that the referee might have been close to giving one on a previous occasion for that offence, and this time he pointed to the spot. Now, here's a story concerning Kenny Jacket. The last penalty he took for Watford, he missed, and it was very costly in a cup tie against Queen's Park Rangers in the Milk Cup. He missed, and Watford lost the match 1-0. So the responsibility here firmly on his shoulders. And this time he scores. The equaliser for Watford from Kenny Jacket after 62 minutes. And the City centre-half, who gave away the penalty, left to reflect on what he thought was a hard decision, but if you've been watching those corners closely, I think it might have been coming. 1-1, and a good cup tie now without a doubt. So the journey from Hertfordshire now begins to look more worthwhile. Forward by Jacket. Here's Callahan. Barnes. Power away from Sterling. Anybody's match now. And Andy May sorts things out for City. Well, that was Steve Terry on Mark Lillis. McNabb with the kick. Lillis. Oh, now then, Steve Terry on Mark Lillis, a penalty at the other end. This time it's the Watford number 5 who protests his innocence. He held my shirt, he says. But the referee thought that Terry impeded Lillis on the turn. And now we have the second penalty. Tony Coton debates it with Malcolm Heath, but again the referee pointed straight to the spot. And Mark Lillis himself is the City penalty taker. Oh, against the post, Simpson! No! I wonder whether Coton got a hand to that. I think he might have done. Certainly it came back off the post. And Manchester City miss the ideal opportunity to regain the lead. Coton went the right way, and Cherry must have been relieved to see that come out. And Mark Lillis must be bitterly disappointed. Simpson, Davis. Well, after a comparatively uneventful first half, we've now got a second half in which you don't know what's going to happen next. A penalty at either end, one scored and one missed. Clements cleared it. Stoppage time. McNabb, a fast, open, exciting cup tie that ends all square and means a replay at Vicarage Road. Gordon Davis gave City the lead with a spectacular goal, Phillips and Lillis setting it up. Kenny Jackett equalising for Watford from a penalty, and then Mark Lillis missing the penalty that could have put City into the next round. As it is, the crowd applaud the players off. It was a good match, well contested, and they meet again next week at Watford.
Well, I thought that it was the most enjoyable game of football. 2 penalties to set you arguing. I can't see, and neither can the camera, that McCarthy was guilty of anything but winning the ball in the air against McClelland. And in the other penalty area, to balance things up, an objective witness could take the view that Lillis did his share of the pushing, shoving and holding that went on. Well, if Boyd Robson wants a last-minute surprise natural winger for Mexico, he could do worse than try young Paul Simpson. He can throw a dummy to get possession, loves to go past players, and has the pace and the crossing accuracy when flat out to provide front men with dream opportunities. At 19, if he's good enough, he's old enough. And if you're not convinced, have a look from the other wing. A deft feint, pace wins again, and the cross lethal. Well, our final match coming up now between the oldest club in the Football League, Notts County, and one of the most successful, Tottenham Hotspur. Your commentator, Tony Gubber.
A cup tie elevated to the level of a crisis, with these Tottenham players aware that after 3 home defeats and with a league position well below the status of the club, defeat today against 3rd Division Notts County is really unthinkable. And Tottenham's spirits weren't lifted when Graham Roberts awoke this morning and immediately put his back out. He's already returned to London for treatment. Glenn Hoddle is back, though, after missing 2 matches through injury, with the former county player John Chidozie named as sub. But yet another reshuffled Tottenham team is an indication of a troubled season. This is the 28th different permutation of players that they've tried. Injuries have forced Notts County to rely heavily on youth. The back 4 of Fairclough, Davis, Smalley and Yates are all teenagers with only a handful of games between them. Tristan Benjamin will be the old head, operating behind them as a sweeper. And 6'4" centre-forward Mick Waite is the player that Spurs manager Peter Shreve nominated as a possible aerial threat when he took his entire first team to watch County's game in midweek. So it's Notts County in the white shirts who kick off, attacking the goal to the left. County unbeaten for their last 5 games against a Tottenham team who haven't scored for 3. Referee today, Ray Lewis of Great Bookham. In the 3rd round, he did Ipswich-Bradford, which was a 4-4 draw. Bitter, cold wind blowing right down the length of the field. Stevens punts it all the way back, and he hasn't made a good job of it. Clemens has to come out of his area. Impossible to overestimate the importance of this match for Tottenham. Already out of the Milk Cup. League position only midway, with only the FA Cup left to chase. It's Mark Goodwin. Waite. Davis. Plays it back to Benjamin. Both keepers given an early touch. Was blocked by Falco. County's ball. Big occasion for Notts County. Forward by Miller. Falco penalised for the challenge on Benjamin. Taken by Davis. Came off Miller. Hoddle. Nice touch from Hoddle to Falco. And he's made a complete mess of it. Yates, the man who made the mistake, and it's a goal. Clive Allen. A punishing start for Notts County, and that might well have killed the tie. Allen's 6th goal of the season, and it came after a dreadful mistake by Dean Yates. He swung at that ball and missed it completely, and Allen was away behind him. That will certainly have lifted the pressure off Tottenham. County win the free kick. Six is Dean Yates. For the head again of Mick Waite. Hoddle. Perryman. The ball for Waddle to chase. Oh, he's got round the young full-back. Almost a second goal for Clive Allen. Perryman spraying that ball out wide to Waddle on the left, who managed to get the cross in around the young fullback Wayne Fairclough. Touched on by Clive Allen and behind for a corner. Falco! And that's 2 saves that Mick Leonard has had to make in the space of a minute. Cost £30,000 when he came here from Halifax back in 1979. Miller. Hoddle. The snapshot from Hoddle after Miller's header had been knocked out again, flashing across the face of goal. The linesman on that far side keeps putting his hands up to his eyes, always having a lot of trouble with the low sunlight, which might in 1 or 2 cases affect his judgment about offsides. Oh, they must score here. Ian McParland, County's top scorer. Injured as he puts County level. "22 minutes gone as Ian McParland scores his 17th goal of the season, courtesy, it has to be said, of a rather fortunate rebound. But Spurs were punished for some slackness in defence. And the pressure is back on the First Division side. Perryman. Hoddle again. And Chris Hughton. Well, Spurs will have to keep their nerve here, because defeat in this 4th round cup tie would be a major crisis for White Hart Lane. Paul Allen. Not a good ball in. Came off Benjamin. And Spurs get the corner. Keeper dropped it. Chris Hughton. That'll fall nicely for Hoddle, and there's no offside. A lovely chip up, it has to be, surely. Oh, Falco did it right. He headed it down. but straight into the arms of Mike Leonard. Well, the county defenders looked across to the linesman then to see if Hoddle had been offside. The flag stayed down. A lovely chipped ball into the middle for Falco. Faces on the Notts County bench. Falco. Edge. Well, Stevens has gone down in some discomfort. You wouldn't want to fall too many times on this pitch. The ground very heavy and hard, and referee Ray Lewis decides that that's an appropriate time to end the first 45 minutes. So a lot of talking to do in the dressing room for Tottenham at half-time. It's County 1, Tottenham 1. The walls of Nottingham Castle in the distance look cold and uninviting on this bitter winter's afternoon. With Tottenham now ready to play perhaps the most important 45 minutes of football of the season. So Tottenham start this second half. Immediately trying to find a long ball through to Paul Allen. Tottenham, of course, with their glittering FA Cup history, they've won it 7 times, a record that they share with Aston Villa. The Notts County substitute, Rakid Harkouk, coming to the touchline. Coming on right at the start of this second half. Declan Edge is the player who's gone off. And Harkouk gets a big cheer. Only played 1 game in the last 2 months because of injury. Well, the remainder of this match will certainly test the strength of Tottenham. Peter Shreve warming up his substitute, John Chidosi. He used to be a Notts County player. So Chidosi onto the field where he used to play his football for County to try and win this 4th round tie for Spurs. And Paul Allen is not a happy man as he's coming off. Steve Perryman went across to have a word with him, patted him on the back. Chidosi has 18 minutes in which to make an impact on this cup tie. Harkouk. Goodwin played it back first time. Henry Stevens. And Chidosi will get there. Can play it back to Stevens if he wants. Instead to Perryman, and now Hoddle. Good effort by Hoddle. That's the sort of football Spurs have got to put together. Hoddle broke nicely for him. Waddle. First time. Two moves in the space of a few seconds, the best that we've seen from Tottenham. Goodwin. Harkouk's not offside. Goodwin! Straight into the welcoming hands of Ray Clements as Mark Goodwin sprinted forward to get the ball back from Harkouk. Mabbott. What an important few minutes of football for Peter Shreve. Tottenham penalised. Davis with the free kick. Waite got to it. Oh, it's a great goal! But it's disallowed. David Hunt, the player who put the ball into the net. But the big centre forward, Mick Waite, is penalised for jumping on the defender. Well, that's what he's there for at 6'4", to get up and win the ball in the penalty area. That's what worried Tottenham when they saw him on Tuesday. And Tottenham were lucky to survive that scare. Benjamin, who's done such a good job as sweeper. His 12th season at County. Joined the club originally from school. He too seems to have had a bit of a knock. Chidosi. Gary Stevens. Hoddle. Got Perryman. Chooses to turn the other way. Falco! Oh! Well, that had the Spurs management off the bench and on their feet. Falco pulled that down and turned. And the shot only just too high. Into the final minute. The Spurs come forward, that's Waddle offside. And you can read the anxiety on the Tottenham bench as these final seconds tick away. Perryman still mustering his team. Touched on by Waite to McParland and Hunt! A brilliant save by Ray Clements from David Hunt has kept Tottenham's season alive. With seconds remaining, Hunt shakes his head. How did Clements keep that out? That was the experience of having been in the game since 1965. And it's the final touch of the match as Peter Shreves leaves the dugout. The whistle has gone, and so Tottenham live on. Jimmy Cyril shakes the Tottenham manager's hand, and they'll have to play it all again at White Hart Lane. So the worst hasn't happened for Tottenham. They're not out of the cup. The season is still alive, and we'll have to wait and see what they can do in the replay. The final score here is Notts County 1, Tottenham 1, and what a debt Tottenham owe to Ray Clements for that very last touch of the match, which kept them alive.
Well, you'd have to have a heart of stone not to appreciate that picture of absolute relief on the face of Spurs manager Peter Shreve when Ray Clements made that special save from David Hunt in the last minute of the match. News now from Bob.
It was a bad day for Brian Robson. It was also pretty disastrous for his namesake England manager Bobby. Replays and injury have robbed him of no fewer than 9 of his original squad of 22 for the World Cup warm-up friendly with Egypt on Wednesday. Out go Bailey, Butcher, Martin, Hoddle, Hodge, Stuart Robson, Dixon, Waddle and Barnes. And that 9 would become 11 if Mark Hateley and Ray Wilkins are not released by their Italian club AC Milan. The England manager will announce his revised party tomorrow, and while he could still put out a recognisable England team in Cairo, it will certainly mean chances for fringe players such as Forrest Peter Davenport, Danny Wallace of Southampton, Dave Watson of Norwich, the Sheffield Wednesday pair Brian Marwood and Glyn Snowden, and Arsenal's Graham Ricks. As for the shocks in today's 4th round, pride of place goes to 3rd Division Derby County and those famous giant killers from the 4th, Peterborough United. Derby went to Bramall Lane and beat 2nd Division Sheffield United, Rob Hindmarch the scorer. Peterborough's Greg Shepherd, whose goal knocked out Leeds in the last round, did it again today against 2nd Division Carlisle. An honourable mention too for Millwall, who went to Villa Park and earned a replay. Alan McCreary gave the 2nd Division club the lead, but Steve Hodge saved the day for Villa. There were first-minute goals for both Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday, who went on to score 5 apiece against Rotherham and Orient, respectively. Ian Allinson put Arsenal ahead with a penalty after just 39 seconds. He also got the last in the 5-1 win. Charlie Nicholas, incidentally, got his 9th goal in 8 games. And Gary Thompson took just a minute to put Wednesday on the way to a 5-0 victory over 4th Division Orient. If there's any good news for Bobby Robson tonight, it must be that the 1st Division's top scorer, Gary Lineker, remains bang in form. He got 2 more today in Everton's 3-1 win over Blackburn Rovers to bring his season's total for club and country to 29. Everton's crowd of 41,831 was the biggest for any FA Cup tie this season. 2 goals also for Brighton's Terry Connor in their fine 3-2 win at Hull, and David Armstrong as Southampton knocked out Wigan 3-0. Armstrong's 2 came in the last 4 minutes. 2 teams who had the glory in the 3rd round both bowed out today. The last of the non-leaguers, Altrincham, conquerors of Birmingham, lost 2-0 at York, who have yet to play a league side in the Cup. And Bristol Rovers, who beat Leicester 3 weeks ago, went down 4-0 at Luton. That leaves just 2 other ties, which both need replays next week. Runaway 3rd division leaders, Reading, struggled to hold Bury, who are 16 places below them in the table. Trevor Senior inevitably getting Reading's equaliser in a 1-1 draw. And West Ham were surprisingly held to a goalless draw at home to Ipswich. That result puts Frank McAvenny out of the Scottish squad for Tuesday's international in Israel. Now the replays. Tuesday, Bury versus Reading, Ipswich, West Ham, Millwall against Aston Villa, Watford versus Manchester City. And on Wednesday, Manchester United against Sunderland and Spurs versus Notts County. Finally, pools, there were 10 score draws and 2 no-score draws on today's coupons. Telephone claims are required for 24 points. The dividend forecast is fairly good. The score draws 2, 17, 23, 24, 25, 26, 30, 32, 51 and 53.
Thank you, Bob. Well, let me just remind you that Sports Night returns on Wednesday next at 10:15 with the European Figure Skating Championships from Copenhagen, and international snooker, the Benson and Hedges Masters, which begins tomorrow afternoon on BBC One at 3 o'clock, and then continues throughout the week with the final next Sunday. And finally, some riveting football dates to watch out for on BBC One. 4 live matches in February. On Sunday, the 9th, Cannon League leaders Manchester United play Liverpool at Anfield. On Wednesday the 12th at 7:30, a Milk Cup semi-final first leg. On Sunday the 16th at 3 o'clock, a 5th round FA Cup tie. And on Wednesday the 26th of February, it's England's turn and they play Israel. Let's hope that Bobby Robson has a bit more luck with players for that one. Well, all those games live on BBC One. And that's tonight's contribution from the kaleidoscope of football. The sadness of a great player, the thrill of a spectacular goal, and the utter relief of a manager saved on the bell. Good night to you.
And there'll be news of the draw for the 5th round of the FA Cup in the Jimmy Young Show on Radio 2 on Monday morning, beginning at 10:30. Well, only very few clubs in the Football League are completely free of financial